It's official. We're live again. There's no one here. It's just me talking to myself. But I always find it awkward when you get started and you have no one here talking to yourself. But those are the times you got to embrace them most. The awkwardness, the uncomfortableness. Those are the times I'm looking for. So I'm here. I need to invite my man Saul to join. Let me see. I think I need to do. Last time I did a live, I invited Saul, so we'll see if he jumps on. I see BIG group, the big group in the house. Last time I did an Instagram live, the guy sent me an email. I can't remember his name for some reason, and I hadn't checked my email because I don't check my email until I actually get my day started. So I don't usually check my email until about 1 or 2. And the live had been canceled. So I'm going to double check my email, make sure Saul didn't email me by chance. No, we're good. He should be jumping on here. He's with Neighborhood Loans, so you will see. Let me see. Maybe in the meantime, maybe Zach wants to join the live on the spot. Just me and you. No one's going to hear us. No one's going to see us except everyone who joins, which could be nobody at the same time. I don't know why this guy. I want to check one more thing here. We'll give Saul a little bit more time. I'll be honest. Today has been a good day for me. Very, very, very good day. I was finally able to, what I would call, reset, refocus, get back onto my baseline. I think I always talk about my baseline schedule, understanding what that is. And then I think, one of the things I've discovered most importantly is what takes me off that baseline. For sure, easy answer is putting, there's Saul. He's here. My man.
Hey,
Saul,
how's it going?
happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there.
Oh, man, every time I do one of these things, I got a technical difficulty. I'm telling you, it's not that it should be much easier to figure out how to do Instagram Live, but honestly, it's confusing. And they don't let you do it through your computer, which is also a little bit annoying. I don't understand.
That's where I was trying to do it through the computer. That's where I was having the issue. But thanks for your time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I've tried to look into it multiple different ways, and you can actually end up streaming it through your computer through some type of special service, but that's again way too technical for me.
This will work.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about you. Can you give me a quick debrief on where you've been and how you ended up at Neighborhood Loans?
Yeah, so I've been doing the loans for approximately, I don't want to give out my age, but it's been about 22 years. Early 2000s, I got into the mortgage business. And when you look back, you could kind of connect the dots, right, of what events led to joining the company. So I've been here at Neighborhood Loans about 11 years. I did have some ventures where I had an opportunity for about 5 years of owning a mortgage broker company along with 2 other good friends. So that was a lot of learning experience and really good times because I got to share that time with friends and family.
Can we talk about that more? What year was it? How did you start the business? What was your mindset right then? Maybe you can just walk me through everything got started. I think that's like an interesting topic for everyone.
So with a good friend Orlando and Jose, we were at Freedom Mortgage Company in the early 2001, 2002. Um, and we were doing, we loved the business. We were doing okay. And just had an idea of branching off, and really we're passionate and excited about doing our own company, and talking about the possibilities and doing this and that. So you get the juices flowing, and the promise of the future. So we got that company started in about '04, I want to say, all the way through 2009 and 2010. We got to the point of, I think, maybe about 10 to 15 loan officers uh, during that time frame. A lot of friends from college, cousins, my brother worked there. So it was a good time. Sorry, my phone keeps falling off.
You're all good. Interesting. And so, what gave you the push over the edge to actually start the business? I feel like that's usually the biggest hurdle, is to actually like take that leap of faith out from under the wings of wherever you've been.
I always had that kind of itch of branching off and relying on yourself to succeed. Even when I was, I think, in second grade, when I lived in Mexico, I kind of did my little print shop company. I would make copies of these sticker cards that were called Garbage Pail Kids. This was in the mid '80s. So I would sell them during lunch. If you wanted a copy, I think I would sell them for like a quarter. If you wanted a color copy, 50 cents. And if you wanted the original, like $1. So I was doing some good money for for a second grader. And ever since then, I've always had that inspiration of having control of your own future or destiny, if you want to say.
When did you come from Mexico?
We came back. I remember this after the heartbreak of the Cubs losing in the '89 playoffs. So I think the winter or January of 1990, around there.
Okay. And when you came, I have a few friends who are dealing with immigration right now. Did you end up like going into the lottery, or what was how did you get here?
Good question. No, we were actually born in Chicago, and then we moved back to Mexico right around. I was born in Chicago. I think we went to Mexico right around my first grade, and then we came back. So.
Oh, yeah, I feel like that's the opposite of what most people are probably trying to do.
a little back and forth, but
yeah,
it was all worth it.
When you started your business, would you recommend that people start a business with their friends?
There's the pros and cons.
Yeah, good answer.
In my case, I think the pros outweighed the cons, because money comes and goes. The time that you spent together, and the memories and the experiences you shared, that could never be replicated. So some people might have ran the business differently, but looking back, at the end of the day, everything happens the way it's supposed to. And we had really good experiences working together, and that failure, if you want to call it, by closing that company, did teach me a lot of things that I took as a lesson to keep growing and implement for future companies that I later then joined. So
Yeah.
I guess the short answer, I guess, choose your friends wisely, right? Because if you go in business with the wrong friends, then it could end badly. But I'm proud to say that we all ended on a good note, and we're still friends to this day.
Yeah, I think that was something I didn't even actually really think of finding anyone else besides friends. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's like, you know, I think like for us, it was always about having that open, honest, transparent communication. You know, if you need something, say something, and like holding those emotions in, letting them bottle up. For me and my two partners, like we've been just so diligent about speaking up, one of our core values, and not
Yeah.
letting, you know, anything get swept under the rug, you know. And I feel like that's often the way it is for any relationship, you know, whether it be you know, personal or business. Is like so many times we don't want to express how we feel, and then that emotion goes away, we didn't actually acknowledge it, and then it's like kind of like put in this like little chamber for later, and then eventually something triggers that emotion to come up again, and then all of a sudden that frustration is built up and then pents up. And yeah, I mean, it's just such an important factor, at least in my opinion, on like just general communication and relationship building in general. Just like say how you're feeling. It's really often not when you deliver the message, but how you deliver the message and the choice of words you end up using. And so after you close up that business around 2010, then and you've been with Neighborhood Loans, I think you said, for 11 years. So
Yeah.
did you have a little kind of a bridge in between those two times?
Yeah, there was one additional place that I worked at for about would have been 3 or 4 years, and that place, the owner owned a real estate company and a mortgage company, and he eventually just focused on the real estate and closed down the mortgage side. So that's when I uh, made the move to Neighborhood Loans. And the reason I made the move is one of the girls that used to work at that company went out to Neighborhood Loans, and she, you know, shared great info about the company. You have to come work here. And when I got there, it was like night and day, because uh, I wasn't used to a lot of the technology that they had in regards pricing loans. I had to do everything manually with the rate sheets. So print out like 15 different rate sheets from banks and calculate your interest rate and process my own loans. So it was definitely a positive change that allowed to grow the team and grow the business.
Yeah, I think that's like an interesting thought concept around like what we have to do to evolve with how the times are evolving. What would you say to someone who's new getting into the mortgage industry, that they need to lean on, you know, more now because of the change in times that you didn't necessarily have to lean on when you got started?
I think having the openness to learn, surrounding yourself
Yeah.
with good support system, someone that's going to be able to coach you and show you the steps that you need to do, the discipline, the commitment, the passion to succeed in whatever business. I think that relates to any business you want to pursue. You have to have a good plan to execute, so that way you know where you're heading, um, and not have to learn it all on your own. That there's people here that could assist new people in the business to help cut those years of the learning curve.
Do you think, Saul, that the open-mindedness to learning and the ability to be coached, are those skills that we can develop, or those things that you feel like we're innately born with? Or like how does someone cultivate the skill to be open-minded and the willingness to be coached? Because I just know, like, I go to like Michael Jordan. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. It's just like
Yeah.
all the books I've ever read is like he was the most coachable player of all times and just wanted to continue to grow and get better. You know, if I'm not like in that mindset, is there a way that I can start developing those skills?
That's a great point. I usually base it off, like when I grew up, I used to play a lot of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of the being open to learning, of listening to the coach was second nature. Okay, I got to do this to be better. I think now with today's technology, listening to a lot of podcasts or uh, audiobooks could help open someone's mind to having that ability to want to learn more and being open, where you could listen to these professionals at the top of their game that share their secrets and strategies. Hey, I did this, and I'm at this level because I followed these steps and I was open to learning. So if you hear someone that's doing that and they're successful, I mean, if you're not willing to learn after that, then I think that's ultimately up to the individual.
Yeah, I totally agree. Are there two or three podcasts that you'd highly recommend that are in your Apple iTunes?
I listen to a lot of Ed Milet, if
Oh,
I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm a big listener of him. Robin Sharma, uh, but mostly audiobooks.
yeah, audiobooks. Yeah, I'm a huge Ed Milet guy. He just released one other day, like the seven things that people do to self-sabotage themselves the most. And yeah, his content's always very or at least I found like very genuine, authentic, transparent. You know, all
Uh,
attributes that I'm
yeah,
personally.
yeah. There's definitely good material that you could take from every listen. I think one of them recently was regarding this downtime, right, during the holidays, how you could be kind of double down on your activities while other people are taking a break.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna do here in the holidays? Are you gonna double down, or are you gonna take it easy?
I am going on a week vacation with the kids, but vacation is not really vacation. I'm always attentive to the phone calls. In our line of work, it's really not like, oh, I have to, answering the call really, I don't think it impedes in our still ability to spend time with family. Answering a 5-10 minute phone call is part of who I am, so it's not going to stop if I'm on vacation.
Yeah, I think sometimes we obviously have to take vacations so that we can double down. If we're doubling down without taking any vacations, I feel like that ends up being a bigger way to end up slowing us down. With
Yeah.
uh,
One thing I wanted to say about that doubling down is, a lot of times what we're what we're doing now is going to reflect, 3 or 4 months down the road.
yeah, that's so good. And that was another thing from Ed Milet. The things you're
Yeah.
doing
And
now, you don't see for 90 plus days.
and when you listen to that, and I look at our business, and it resonates, right? Because I say, wow, that's 100% correct. When I look at maybe sometimes in the summer where I I took it easier, where I was maybe leaving a little bit earlier to, you know, enjoy some of the weather with my kids or things like that. It'll eventually catch up to you if you keep doing that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's totally true. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his exact saying he says, but yeah, something about like that things are doing now for the positive you won't see for at least 90 days. The things are doing in the negative you like see immediately. You have that drink, two, 3, 4 drinks last
Yeah.
night. All of a sudden, the next day you're feeling it. And that's one of my big things for 2024. I think I committed to quit drinking and smoking for all of 2023. Did not make it. But but I came much closer than I ever close and much closer than I ever came. So I think I'm gonna consider doubling back down because it's always been. I can always feel how happier and healthier I am when I have happy and healthier things going in my body.
Yeah, it's all about the triggers, right? Knowing what triggers are present, they usually lead to that. Because I know after a few drinks, and what do you want to have, a nice little cigarette? That's where you got to be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Triggers is a big word in my vocabulary. So
Yeah.
and it's hard to figure them out sometimes too, and figuring out like because it might be one trigger, but the root cause is like 3 layers deep of trying to figure out that trigger triggered something that you weren't even aware of, and that you really have to do that work to self-reflect back to figure out what that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as 2024 goes, uh, real estate market. What's going on? What are you doing differently? How are you closing deals? Interest rates are still high. What's your advice to people going into 2024 as a mortgage broker?
Well, 2024 is it's actually looking pretty promising right now. The rates have dropped, where it's at a nice level where it makes some properties more affordable for families. So whenever I think if we're in the mid sixes, that's a healthy range to still be able to provide that affordability for buying a home. Um, right now, we're really focusing on staying in contact with our past database. We have a lot of years of helping families, so reaching out to the buyers that we helped out in the past to grow that referral base continuously is one of our main goals that we want to keep active throughout the 2024, and just adding more value to our buyers. We work with a lot of down payment assistance programs. One big milestone that we reached this year of providing over $1 million in down payment funds for families. So we know that's been a big impact in the community of helping these families achieve their goal of home ownership, and we want to continue of providing that assistance and be continuously ranked in the top three lenders in the state for providing that kind of help for families.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's say I'm a new home buyer. What in thinking about down payment assistance, like where do I even start?
Give us a call.
But there's several different programs, right?
Yeah.
That work for different people. How would I even know if I could potentially be eligible?
So we go through that scenario. Majority of them are going to be based on how much income you earn per year. You can't make a lot of programs aren't designed to help families that make $250,000 per year. Although there is a program that we work with that has no income limit, so there are options for families. There's some additional assistance depending on where you're going to buy. So if you're buying like in Will County, there's additional help that we work with, where you could get up to like $35,000 by combining different programs. So there's really good assistance for buyers. A lot of families that are not aware, where they think I'm going to need to put 20% down to buy a house. That's not accurate. Call someone trusted in the mortgage community that could help guide you. That would be the number one step to be able to give you a status of where you currently stand, and then explore those options for down payment assistance. We always like to prepare like different estimates for buyers. Like, this is what you qualify without assistance, and this is with assistance. So you could see the difference, because there's going to be difference in rates, which ultimately, let's see what your number one priority is, if it's the lowest possible payment or the lowest cash to close.
Interesting. Yeah, I think always like having the options laid out in front of me makes that decision much easier to make when you can actually compare apples to apples. Have you found that when you're using those down payment assistant programs that it takes longer to end up closing, or are they kind of like the cons to going down that path?
No, I think we've generally have a good system in place where we could still ultimately close those deals in 3 to 4 weeks. So it's really just a matter of experience and knowing ahead of time, kind of predicting the future, right? There's one term I like to say: when you become an expert in certain programs, you could kind of see the future of what's going to be asked for by underwriting. Exactly. So you could kind of paint the picture exactly to the buyers. This is what's going to happen in the next 2-3 weeks, and this is what we need. And ultimately, it plays out that way, and so we're able to get that process going pretty smoothly.
Do you see any programs coming up in 2024 that people should be aware of so that they can take advantage of them?
Well, the new program that recently got released at the end of or mid-November where buyers could do 5% down on a 3 or 4 unit with no income restrictions. That may play a big role this upcoming year for potential first time home buyers that want to buy that multi-unit of 4 units where they could reap the benefits of getting that extra income to help offset their mortgage payment and grow their portfolio of real estate.
Yeah, I think that program is definitely going to change the game because, there's no self-sufficiency test either. So for
Yeah,
everyone
that's a big one.
who's on the northwest side and looking at a 3 or 4 unit, you no longer have that self-sufficiency test. So you just got to get another 1.5% to bring down. And like the other cool part, especially for us being general contractors, is that, you can use that as a renovation loan as well. And so that just like really blows the door open for people who are really trying to add equity through home remodeling and renovations.
Yeah, that's one big topic too. We have been doing a little bit more renovation loans this past year. So that's something that I always recommend buyers is to get in contact with someone like yourself, a well-respected contractor that will have all their paperwork in order, because that's usually the biggest challenge with the renovation loan. If you got that in place, then the loan itself is pretty straightforward. So it's a matter of just finding a good builder that'll provide everything in a timely manner.
Yeah, I think we'll have to make a pact for 2024 to make sure that we do a deal together.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be at least a game changer. Is just that new loan program, and if someone ends up needing to get a hold of you, what's the usual best way to get a hold of you? Is it through email? Is it through phone? Is it through Instagram?
My website, saulpinella.com. My phone is 708-738-1464. On the website, you can apply online. I usually like to do everything over the, speak on the phone or meet in person, something more personal. I always find to build a better connection with families.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we had a super quick question about how does a remodeling loan work, and I mean, basically, you find a house that needs to be remodeled. You're going to get a quote from someone like us. You're going to get a HUD inspector involved. You're going to call someone like Saul. And I mean, in all honesty, you want to get everyone on the same page before you kind of even go down that rabbit hole. Because like Saul had mentioned, it's going to be, an uphill battle if you don't have someone who can get the paperwork done in a timely manner, and your contract's going to fall through, and you're going to spend money on inspection, and all hell's going to break loose, and then you're going to blame me and Saul for not going right when we told you to get everyone on the same page from the start. But really, either Saul or I can dive into that more, so make sure you link up with us, follow us, go to Saul's website and give him a phone call, and follow us on Instagram. And from here on out, I got to run, Saul, but for sure, 2024, let's reconnect and talk about some construction loans to figure out how we can team up.
You got it. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
Happy holidays.
All right, take care. Bye.